Hi, Norman Sager from Live Trades FX here, and I'm going to start the London session in a few moments. Let's do a quick sound check and audio check. If you can press or type confirmation so you can see me and hear me. Hi Jack. Hey, Paul. How you doing, man? Yeah, I'll get through that in a few slides. Okay, getting a few confirmations. Lovely. Okay, so audio good and video good. Right, so let's kickstart by looking at euro dollar. Well, clearly this is downtrend at the moment. See lower highs, lower lows. We'll chase this for short at the moment. Par has identified two levels for short side. That's 109.53 and 111.35. So I'm just waiting for price to reach this level. I'll take a short position. As you know, the par works in alignment with martingale, so we have two levels here and sometimes three or four. So I'm going to take a position in this level and another at this level if price goes up further. My stop will be placed at 112.83, TP at 107.05. Bigger picture. There's plenty of room to go down further. Daily chart. The reason why I didn't take a short at this level was basically because of this point here. So I expect a bounce and take a short at these levels. Like I said, there's plenty of room for downside. But pars are identifying 107.05 as a TP. So that's what we are going to do on the euro dollar. It's operating on H1 timeline. There are ways to go, and let's see how that goes in the course of the day. Okay, let's take a look at the pound dollar next. Okay, this is not really keen on taking the pound dollar actually, because the fundamentals call for pound and US interest rates to be going up this year. So if I were to take a long on the pound, it wouldn't be on this pair, most likely on the pound Oz, pound Kiwi, but we've got some fundamentals coming out tomorrow evening, and just check, see what time. Yes, tomorrow at 10 p.m. London time. RBNZ is coming up with the rate statement, the official cash rate. Expectations are that Kiwi interest rates will go down. So pound Oz would be the better option in taking a long on sterling. However, par identified 155.52 as a long, and up to TP 157.60, stop at 154.42. But I shan't take this. Let's look at FTSE. FTSE is clearly on the uptrend since the Greece solution has been found, but it's not completely over yet. Now you see that it was on a downward trend until recently, and the plan is to take along at 66.75 and 65.93. The stop sitting at 64.16, TP at 69.06. And given the strength of the DAX and the US Dow, and the fact that Apple's results are coming out this evening, we may not have the opportunity to take a long here, but I'm not going to chase the market. If it reaches this level, I'll take a long. If it doesn't, I'll leave it. There's plenty of other opts. Okay, let's take a look at the DAX. Likewise, this is currently on an upward trend. Two levels I'm looking at is 11.694, which is soft support, the potential to take a long position here. Stronger of the two is 11.383, and I'd love to take a long position here. The stops in down at 10.593 and TP at 12.388. 6,000 point to the upside, risking 784. And DAX is definitely on an upward trend. If I look at the 1 hour chart, see it's broken previous high. So I'm pretty confident, even if it drops down to this level, and most likely on the M30, then you can take a long with a trade setup identified here. Aussie dollar, not much to see here. It's obviously downside, but there's no clear levels that have been identified on the Aussie. Likewise, Euro Aussie, nothing was really clearly identified. It is on an upward trend, and I suspect it'll go down slightly before resuming to the upside. Euro pound is definitely on the downside, but again, I'm not going to chase this. So the levels that we're looking at here are identified like at 70.38, 71.60, 71.76 and 72.03. First order and the short side will be taken at 70.38. There's a stop at 72.38. Now, I know, reward risk doesn't look that great, less than 1. However, I mean, if it reaches TP, that's great. If it doesn't and it continues to the upside, I'll take another position here at 72.03, thereby improving my RR, 259 over 21. That'd be 2 to 1, approx. So that's the Euro pound. Pound Aussie, clearly upward trend. Now these are the levels which are identified by PAR. Now on the M30, 2.1080 T2 was identified. I didn't take this long because I believe that 209.90 is much stronger. We made 100 pips. But, so I'll wait for price to hopefully retrace down to 209.90. I'll take a long at that level. If it continues to the downside, I'll take another long at 206.04. Stop setting at 204.02 and TP at 214. Aussie key. Yes, this is the only position I have, and I've had for a couple of days. We took a short at this level, 113.63. I closed half my positions early on at 111.70. The other half still running. Hopefully we'll achieve the 111.07. The second TP and option brought down, as a matter of fact. Something identified here. Let me just check. Yes, okay. Stops at 65. There you go. Right, so stops well in profit, and we'll see how that goes. We've got some fundamentals coming out tomorrow, as I mentioned before, from RBNZ, so I might get out this trade before then, unless of course it's my TP2. That's all good. Okay, Dow Jones, not much happening here. We're in a tight range between 18,150 and 18,031. I'm not going to take a long position here on PARs identified 17,934 and 17,919 for a long, and further 17,919. And yeah, sure. RR isn't that attractive. Dow we're talking about. It's less than 1-to-1. So I'm pretty confident in that anyhow. And maybe my stop up. I'll leave it as is at the moment. That's good enough. PAR may identify a couple of other levels later in the day, but the fact that it's running on a tight range here is clear that something's going to break to the downside or upside eventually. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap things up now, and we'll chat later in the US session. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you soon.